Hi everybody, it's Olivia. Happy almost 4th of July to everyone. I am coming to YouTube, Facebook, whatever, today to talk about specifically property tax rates in the Austin area. Right now, kind of focus on the Driftwood Dripping area, which is highly desirable, great location. Beautiful real estate, but what my clients are asking a lot about, and I live in the area myself, I live in a neighborhood where the tax rate is over 3%. And, excuse me, a lot of other areas in the Austin metro, if you will, kind of 2.6, 2.8 is kind of the average. And then you have some areas that are as low as 1.9, and you have other areas that are over 3%. And this comes up a lot, particularly when I have out-of-town clients or clients that are actually just moving one part of Austin to another. So here is why that is. The typical, most common answer is newer areas of development typically have higher tax rates because they're building infrastructure. Excuse me. So if you have a less populated area that has less infrastructure, lower resources in terms of utilities, water, wastewater, etc. These areas are, they have less infrastructure, they are lessly populated, they have less tax revenue coming in. And as an area grows, it increases the need for things like resources like utilities, emergency dispatch, schools. I'm so sorry, I've got this chest cold or allergy that will not go away. So what you'll find in areas that are really well developed that sit inside of the city as a formal jurisdiction is you'll actually find kind of lower tax rates. As you're shopping in the outer perimeter areas that are at the beginning of this growth, you're gonna have higher tax rates because we've gotta pay for roads, we've gotta pay for schools, we've gotta pay for the emergency resources that are now going to be employed by these counties and municipalities. So specifically for my area, 78737, your address may be, Austin, and then you're getting into Driftwood, and then you're getting into Dripping Springs, where a lot of the tax rates are over 3%. Initially, for my clients, that is a huge fear factor because your tax rate, just like an interest rate, determines or helps impact, it affects, oh my Lord, it affects your monthly payment. But as with anything, I just encourage people to ask questions and be educated and understand why this tax rate in this area is different than it is in that. And you'll start to learn or hear these different words called MUDs, PUDs, PIDs, municipality, utility district, public utility district. Different developers use different entities to, I won't get in depth about this, but public utility districts, these are different terms for different ways essentially in which the financing is obtained to provide these services and or these infrastructure instruments so that development can happen. And they all have to be paid in some way. So sometimes you'll have your county tax, your city tax, your emergency dispatch tax, your school district tax, and then sometimes there's an additional tax that in essence is repaying some entity for having upfronted the money to developers to develop this area. I know that may sound super confusing, but my whole reason in doing this is this. A lot of people ask about tax rates. This is why they vary. Ask questions about your particular area. Please do not let a higher tax rate deter you from buying in an area, and this is why. If the tax rate's higher and you're in an area that's just beginning massive growth or development, you're probably also getting in at the very entry level of real estate pricing that, given normal real estate conditions, is going to increase as well. What will happen over time, that tax rate very likely is not going up. Over time, as some of those secondary taxes fall off, your tax rate might actually go down, but your property value is going to go up. Again, in most cases, there's no crystal ball. Just know this. Don't be deferred by tax rate. Ask questions, understand why, understand the implications, and then factor in if it is a positive or negative for your home search. Okay, bye guys.